Welcome to Surrounded by Sports, the podcast. I'm KP, and our guest today is Coach Leland Greene. Leland, how you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Good. As you can see by the GB on his shirt, he is the defensive back coach at Gulf Breeze High School, along with the head JV coach at Gulf Breeze High School. He has had I hope to talk to you. First of all, I think your journey to being in Gulf Breeze is interesting. I think the lessons you've learned along the way from all the coaches you've worked with are interesting.
Right.
And I want to get into all of that, of course. Of course, the concept of what's been going on at Gulf Breeze in football over the last 4 years. I think we're going through 4 coaches, 4 years.
Yes, sir.
Right, and you've been through all of them.
I sat out 1 year, but yes, I've been three of the 4, yes.
3 of the 4. And so I think that's an interesting process. We think we have our guy in Eric Harris. And I think, we can talk a little bit about all of that as well as talk about your basketball program. Maybe there are some seeds in what they do there that can help in other directions. So I want to talk about all that. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. We're going to do all that and more after this.
You are watching Surrounded by Sports, the podcast hosted by Kevin Perkins. This show emphasizes how sports and life intersect while showcasing the Gulf Coast. And now, Surrounded by Sports.
Welcome back. Thank you, first of all, to Faust Builders and Sideline Sports Bar, who are sponsoring all of Surrounded by Sports content. That's this YouTube channel you're currently watching. That is what we do on X, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. And Sidelines, who's letting us use this facility, which is nearby the school.
Right down the road.
Quick job. I actually... Full disclosure, I know Mr. Leland as he has been in here several times to eat.
Yes, that's the truth. I love it here.
Yeah, and I have a bone to pick with you.
What did I do?
Oh, we're going to get to it later. That's a tease in a biz, But anyway, first of all, let's focus on you. Single parent household.
Yes.
You grew up in Fort Walton.
Yeah, I grew up with my mom in Fort Walton and went to high school in Fort Walton, middle school in Fort Walton. We moved around a little earlier in my life. Different stops in Dallas, San Antonio, Hawaii. But the most of my years over in Fort Walton, and love that area, love what it did for me, provided, and that's what I kind of consider home. Right.
Now, I think sometimes we can mistakenly not give moms credit for being tough and disciplinarians.
Right. No,
Is that true for you?
My mom's super tough. A lot of lessons I learned that, now that I'm older, I'm sitting here I didn't have to learn it that way. Hearing some of my friends talk, but very appreciative of those kind of deposits that she put in my life that hopefully I can instill in my kids, and we can grow up kind of the way I did, and learning through some tough times, but also building some great character.
Right. Now, military background. She had a military background.
She was in the military, worked for the military, so I was around it a lot of my life, especially being in this area.
Right.
Most of our coaches, most of the people that were around us as kids had military backgrounds. So definitely learning accountability, learning responsibility. She was a probation officer at the time when I was in high school. So learning what not to do for my friends and people I was around. So
military probation officer, that's accountability underlined,
yes,
right?
100%.
Yeah, right. Now, you said a lot of your male role models wound up being coaches.
Yeah, so I got to play for Coach Owens over at Fort Walton, but even that whole staff, man. This was the other day. I was having dinner, ran into one of my old coaches, and it was great to see him. Still keep in contact with those guys, and it's kind of helped, shape how my life and what I did as a profession has kind of went.
Is that part of how you got into coaching?
100%. So at the time I was getting my AA, and I finished it, and I knew I wanted to go into education, but I didn't necessarily know I wanted to coach. Was volunteering with a youth group, and then I met a coach who introduced me to Coach Ward over at Washington.
Okay.
And when he was there, his second year, I started coaching under him, and I have been coaching ever since, and I enjoy it. I love it. It's a great fulfillment knowing that kind of where I grew up, how I grew up, is the same way with a lot of males in my life that through sports. And so, sometimes it's not about the wins and losses on the court, but the deposits that you get. It's like a lifelong deal. So I definitely understand that and very appreciative of it.
Right. So you played some college football, though. You played at Faulkner.
I did play at Faulkner for a year. I enjoyed it. Every game we played was on the road. After the last one, we played up in Montgomery, West Virginia. I called Mom and I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And so went to Troy for a semester, then came here to UWF, or PSC and then UWF.
Right.
And decided to get my degree in education.
Right.
And start teaching, coaching, and that's what I've done. And man, it's been awesome.
Right. Now, Coach Ward, you mentioned Coach Ward. I thought it was interesting when we talked about him. You thought a couple of things. One, how did Coach Ward influence you as far as your coaching style? Charlie Ward's who we're talking about, Heisman Trophy winner. He's now the head basketball coach at FAMU. He was the head football coach at Washington High School for a little bit, and then he transferred back into being a basketball coach at Florida State College.
Florida State High, yeah. So I think one of the biggest things is just being humble. Just being humble, being a leader that listens and hears what's going on and knows the temperature of the team, and then just being authentic, right? Like being yourself and having the best interest of everyone around you kind of being your goal, right? And that's something I learned from him, and it's still cool. He's still, I reach out to Coach Ward every couple of weeks, and he picks up the phone.
Yeah.
He'll text me back, call me back, sends me some awesome basketball drills on Instagram. I love it.
Right, right.
But, yeah, he just was authentic, and I was, you're around so many different personalities and coaching. For him to be the first guy I worked for and see it, and watch him do it the right way, it definitely influences probably the base of where I get what I like to do and why I do it.
And you thought he built an infrastructure that wound up helping the next guy.
Yeah, so the next year, I think they won 2 games, and the following year, it was the senior class that we knew was going to be really good. I think they won 9 or 10 games. Don't quote me on that, but it was a heck of a year for them, right? And so even though I wasn't coaching them at the time, I was at Catholic, to know what they got accomplished and did, and knowing that I was a part of it when they were freshmen, was really exciting. As a matter of fact, one of the quarterbacks for that team, the next year, Joe Slattery, is now coaching at UWF.
Right.
There's another quarterback that played baseball at UWF.
Right.
So it was a bunch of guys that we knew were going to be athletic and kind of hold the standard of Washington High School.
Right, but he built an infrastructure that wound up helping the next guy.
The next guy. So
even though it didn't work out.
Yeah. So there was a coach in between him and then Coach Whitten. They did a heck of a job, and now Coach Unca's at Washington, and he uses a lot of the same foundational stuff. He worked with Charlie. Yep. He used the same foundational stuff that Coach Wharton put in, and so I got to see what he was building, and I know he was kind of called off to another job in the middle of that process, and went on to win a state championship at that job. So it was a great choice for him.
Right.
But it also feels great to know that what we had placed and what we built, even in the locker room, works.
Right.
It's still, they probably have one of the nicest locker rooms in the area.
Right.
And it's something that we want to provide the kids with, the athletes with, a great space that they can call their own.
Right.
So stuff like that, you see it and you take it somewhere, you make mental notes and you take it to wherever you're going.
Right. Now, you spent a little bit of time with Matt Adams over there at Catholic, but I want to fast forward to how did you wind up at Gulf Breeze?
So, yeah, I did a year at Catholic. Then I told my wife I was going to take a year off. It was probably like July 27th, the first week of fall ball. And Coach Clayton called me and asked me to help him with the freshman team. And I was, at the time, prior to that, I had always watched what he did here at Gulf Breeze, and I admired kind of what he was able to accomplish with what he was able to accomplish it with.
Right.
And I wanted to get behind the scenes and learn it.
Right.
And made some great connections. So started that freshman year, and then after that, I've been coaching ever since, about, I think 7 years, 8 years ago, one of the two.
Right. In the Gulf Breeze area.
In the Gulf Breeze. So, I started with the freshman football team. The next year, I started coaching the DBs for the varsity. And then I started helping with basketball. Right. And fell in love with basketball and Coach Otts and what they do.
Right. Now, tell me this, because we're going to get to Otts in a second. What are some, because, Clayton's been successful wherever he's been. What do you think are some of the keys to his success?
I think he's somebody that you present a challenge, he's going to build the solutions, and then we're going to work hard and grind to get in.
He's a grinder.
He's a grinder, and not necessarily like in terms of hours in the office and all that, but he's a grinder, and we're going to figure out what we need to do to get to where we want to get to. Yeah. And I think he did a really good job, and something that I learned from him is making the people, the kids, feel like they can go conquer the world, right, regardless of what they were doing. whether
Right.
it was tackling the biggest running back at pace on 3rd and 1,
Right.
or we're going to cover fast kids from Escambia. Whatever it was, we were going to go do it. We could do
Right.
it really well because they had so much confidence, which him and Coach Spencer built in the weight room,
Right.
and in the way we practice and the structure of practice.
If you work hard, you feel like you've earned the right to be
earn
successful.
the right to win. I think that's kind of the saying, right? You earn the right to win. I think back in the Clayton days when I was with them, those few years, and I loved it. We earned the right to win by the way we worked.
Right. Now, there was obviously got a little disjointed there. We had Greinke there for a minute, and then Stomp's coming in, and he has some personal issues, and he has to go away, and Gulf Breeze is looking for a coach. And, okay, Coach O, they kind of got from Gulf Breeze like the rec center style stuff, right? And to me, this isn't factual. This is me looking outside in. It feels like, Eric Harris, who's your new head coach over there, he was already in the community. He was already working out athletes locally. I think you worked with him. Like, didn't he come help out?
Yeah, he helped me last year. Yep, for sure.
Right.
It was a good resource for me.
Right, and he was a willing resource, right? Like, you could call him and ask him questions.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. So, yeah, we was able to talk a lot and work through and made me feel confident in what I was coaching, and gave me some insights on what we can fix and change, and how we teach certain things. So he was really good and influential in that manner last year.
Right. And now, if you don't know, Eric Harris was, I think, almost a decade in the NFL, maybe a full decade in the NFL. And then also a lot of success. He was team captain. He played with the Saints. He played with the Raiders. He played with
Falcons.
Right. And started at some of those places, but also a guy who kind of came through the hard way, right? He wasn't highly recruited. He wasn't highly drafted. He went to Canada to find his way.
Right.
So I'm going to assume he's going to be a grinder too.
Yeah. I mean, of course, we're fresh in this thing, but we definitely have spelled out some things that we want to do to help move the ball forward as far as the football program, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah. Okay, my bone to pick with you though. Okay. You're in here on a Thursday, which you do sometimes. You come in here,
get some wings,
on Thursday,
butter garlic.
And I'm talking to you about the coach, and you act like you don't know that Harris has been is the guy.
So at the time, I didn't know for sure.
Are you sure?
I'm positive, but I was hopeful. That's how kind of the confidence I have in him. I was hopeful.
7 minutes after you left, I saw on Gulf Breeze Football social media that they had just gotten better, which I assumed meant we hired a coach. And then the next morning they had.
It may have been sent from this table.
Okay, all right. Let's get a break and come back, and we're going to talk a little bit about your basketball coaching and working with Coach O over there and how maybe the two can translate into one another. Sound good?
It sounds good.
All right, man. Good. Welcome back. Thank you to Faust Builders, Sideline Sports Bar, who are both sponsoring this podcast and all of my social media stuff that I do. All of the ways you can check out Surrounded by Sports, which is a panhandle coverage on how life and sports intersect. We're talking to Leland about we're going to talk to him in the wrap here in a minute about his leadership style, how he tries to forge relationships, that kind of thing. First, though, and I think it transitions easily, Coach O comes from the rec league centers. I think when I look at Gulf Breeze, the volleyball that they play in the area pre-high school is the same, and it's successful, and then it leads to state championship, state runs. Beach volleyball, same thing. Do you see how the community sports feeds the successful high school programs and how that could transition in football?
Yeah, I think when you have again, I think we talk about continuity. One of Coach Clayton's things is one school, one community.
Mm-hmm.
We have one community on the same path as far as going towards a common goal. I think that it makes it better in the long run, right?
So when Coach O comes in as the head basketball coach, what do you think his overall concept was to change, because Gulf Breeze was not a basketball powerhouse.
Right, and I came in after he was there for a couple of years, so
Right.
I missed the beginning, but I do kind of know how life went
Right.
the last couple of years. And I think one of the biggest things is we created an identity at Gulf Breeze as far as basketball, how we were going to measure success, right? And being successful to us, we label it in 3 letters. We call it GVB, Guard Value Board, right? And so we
Guard Value Board,
and we try to look through everything through that lens of whether we're running offense or defense. That's our staple. And then we also, the last couple of years, worked really hard at becoming tougher on defense, on attacking rebounds, and everything we do. And so you mix that with, we have a great youth group that I can't say their name, I guess, because I don't want to sponsor. I can't get sponsored all the way. But we have a great youth group that the parents travel and they play together. And then you got some really good coaches, and we've been together for a while now. We hang out outside of basketball. Basketball is what we get to do, but we've kind of built a little bit of a relationship that goes beyond the court. And I think when you have that, it bleeds into the program. And so, we're going on year 5 of this now and looking forward to this season.
Right.
But again, we always start from the same foundation.
Forgive me, when you were talking about the staff you were on with Clayton.
Yes.
That staff was close-knit too. You guys are still
really good friends. I don't get to hang out with them as much now. They're across the bridge at the other school. But yes, that we were really close, man. And a lot of those guys I still chat with every day.
Right.
And you know, that's kind of, we talk about being authentic. That's where it was an authentic friendship. We wanted to hang out, be around each other, laugh, you know, spend hours in the field house because we already had to work together. So, I've seen that now, not only in football and basketball, where you create an authentic kind of unionship of coaches, then, you know, it bleeds onto the gridiron or to the basketball court or whatever.
It's easier to talk about important things if you comfortably talk about little things.
100%. And that's kind of, you know, when we can joke around, make fun of, call people out, challenge, hold people accountable, and then to go coach a game and then the kids see it, you know. People always ask, like, what was our success at Gulf Breeze? Well, you know, I think one of the biggest things, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us, because I count the older Cobb, but there's 5 of us that checked our egos at the door. And we just went out and coached. It was hey, let's jump, throw the ball up, let's play basketball and do it the right way. And nobody ever had a ego in the room. I think when you have that, especially in basketball, it's great. And you mix that with just some wonderful players that we've had the last couple of years.
Right. I was lucky. Coach Harris was nice enough, and you invited me and allowed me to watch practice. And it seemed like the staff you have in place right now gets along pretty well.
Yeah. I definitely think we're headed in that direction. And
I mean, it's early.
It's early.
Yeah,
it's early.
Week 2 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The good news is, you know, sometimes I think they call it trauma bonding.
Yeah.
Now, you know, and I know that, you know, prayers for Coach Thompson, his situation with his family.
Yeah.
But it's, again, an unexpected situation pops up. Well, the first thing we did was kind of come together and build out what we need to do and how we need to get on track. And we're lucky that we have Coach Nikolic, who already programmed our summer weight conditioning schedule.
Right.
I think he's probably the best I've been around ever.
Right.
And so we just kept the progress going, and then Coach Harris is now the head coach, and now we're rolling.
So you guys didn't quit coaching. You didn't quit working with the kids in the community, even when you didn't for sure know who was going to be the head guy.
Coach Nicholas had a plan, and we worked the plan.
Right.
It was pretty cool. So.
In hopes that you'd all still have jobs.
Yeah. In hopes we still had jobs. That's funny you think that.
Right. Now, as wrap this up, I want to talk to you. What do you think your leadership style is?
For me, man, I like building relationships with the athletes, and to me, I think, you know, there's 2 type of leaders. There's transactional, transformative. I'm just learning about it as we talk, but I think mine is more of a transformative. Like I don't want to coach you just because you go to Gulf Breeze and play at Gulf Breeze. Now I get to coach you because you're an athlete here, and I take great responsibility for that. And I want to build a relationship that, you know, that beyond 4 years of football, beyond 4 years of basketball, there's a relationship there.
Right.
I was joking with somebody the other day, like this week me and my wife got wedding invitations to a kid I coached with Coach Ward 12 years ago.
Wow.
And so, and I'm like really excited to go.
Yeah.
But again, I think that just attests to, man, we build lifelong bonds, not short term.
You wanted to go from mentor,
Yeah.
which was something you got as a young man.
I did.
You're replicating that to some degree, right?
Yes.
You want to go from mentor to friend as they evolve into doing it.
Yeah, once they graduate and they've completed those 4 years, yeah, like, hey, now, I want to see you succeed in life.
Right.
And there's so many great success stories I can tell you about.
Right.
You had Gus on here.
Gus loves you.
And I love Gus to death. He's one of the first kids I got to coach at Gulf Breeze, but it was bigger than just football.
Right.
And there's a lot. I mean, I can go down the list, but
and Gus was a guy that the world didn't say, hey, this guy's going to be a player.
yeah,
And
he worked really hard. And
away.
he never quit, and then he believed in everything that we taught. And I think it goes back to what like Coach Clayton said. It's like, hey, let's go out and play football. We know what we've been given. Let's see how we can use it. And so he was another kid that, he's a great success story.
Exactly right. Thank you so much for giving me your time.
This is exciting. Thank you guys for having us and having me, and I look forward to sharing and watching some more.
Yeah. Well, dude, good luck on the season. And I feel like hiring Harris, a guy who already lives here, a guy who's already working in the community. You never know what happens in the future, but hey, that's a good place to start.
Yeah, it is.
Because he wants to be here for sure anyway. He moved here.
Yeah, we have a big hopes, man, and I'm glad to be a part of his staff and.
Ground zero.
Ground zero.
Good deal. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
man.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Folks, this is Surrounded by Sports. That's Leland Greene, defensive back coach, head JV coach at Gulf Breeze High School. Check us out on all our social media stuff. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Sideline Sports Bar, for both sponsoring us and giving us a place to record this episode. Thank you to Faust Builders for being the first to come on and become a sponsor. And more news on more sponsors in the coming weeks. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Sweet.